You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Being creepy.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waste. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 468th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks tonight. I've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
And Ray. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, hello.
And tonight on the show, get into our gameplay off the top as the per usual. We've got a Helter Shelter game slapped together. Also, some iguana bits. Looks like a little healthy dose there. And Jess went crazy with a shout.
Shout.
So
Yeah,
we're throwing shouts out. Like, what is something you toss out a lot? Like shouts. How about that? All right. So why don't we go ahead and roll into stuff, see what everyone's getting into. Been a bit since we chatted and whatnot. Also, guys, here's my proposal. Spoilers lifted on the show. We can now chat the show on our show. What do you think?
Now, that's what Vault Talk is for, partly. You know, we've got all the way through that. We've done everything. I think, yes, but we need to warn people when we get there. Okay, at least for the next little bit, we'll be like, spoilers lifted, but we're about to share one, okay? When you're sharing a big spoiler.
All right. It's
Fair?
just, it's fair fodder for the show. It's been out and about for, a couple of, months, at least a few weeks. So it's been in the ether, those I feel like who are going to really be upset by spoilers will have probably already taken the opportunity to go ahead and see it. And if you haven't yet, then you can't really be all that upset about spoilers now.
Absolutely. We're 3 months in. Let's go.
Yeah, but that's, okay, that's just an aside. But we can go ahead and roll into our gameplay and such as per usual. So let's go ahead and see what everyone's been getting into. Jess, do you have a chance to play any video games this last 2 weeks? How long's it been?
I did. I saw you kind of went right by my little extra thing I added in the notes. Did you see? Between the intro and our gameplay, I got a little section there.
Let's see. What do I got? Oh, sport. Wait, what? Sports?
Okay.
Sports?
Andrew, I feel bad. You haven't had a sports buddy on the show to talk sports in a long time. You know what I mean? Like no Vossel sauce here to talk football or some of our other football friends.
Will's into football. We could chat football.
There you go. Actually, when I put that, I thought Will might be with us tonight. But I just want to say, is there anything that you're excited about in the world of sports that your fellow sports fans listening might want to hear about? Anything that, you're all psyched about? Or is it just sad?
Should be baseball season about this time of year, right?
Yeah, but my problem with baseball these days is that unless you are subscribed to some crazy, they just don't air over the rabbit ears much anymore. You know what I mean? Like most major league teams will have contracts with streaming services and blah, blah, blah. Even if you want to, if I, as a Reds fan, want to try to tune into a Cincinnati Reds game by using the Cincinnati 700 WLW streaming app, I can hear their live radio the whole time, but as soon as the baseball game airs, they skip to like some pre-recorded stuff, and then when the game's over, they go back to their live broadcast. Like they know that you're not within the local distance of this, so I need to like look up a Cincinnati zip code, I guess, and lie to the app and say I live in Cincinnati, and then I could probably hear the games live. But anyway, Major League Baseball and lots of sports have just sort of trapped their product behind paywalls.
That's got to be frustrating. for fans. If it's harder to listen to local stuff without doing an app.
It must have paid off in some form because they're not like undoing it, so they're still making money. And as long as they're making money, that's what it's all about, I guess. But what's really exciting, actually, in sports these days is the Indiana women's professional basketball team. We just got the Caitlin Clark, she broke Jerry West's all-time NCAA record for all-time point score. So she is literally the best basketball player that's ever lived.
Wow. Okay, that's quite an achievement.
She has scored at least in college, scored the most points of any player ever. And so this is her rookie year, and Indiana had the most god-awful team. So, of course, they got the first pick. They took her. And, most of the WNBA arenas are sort of like half full at best, But when Indiana's been coming, every game has been sold out all season long, no matter if they're on the road or home or whatever. So it's a big deal because they used to have to fly commercial and stuff, and now all the players across the whole league, not just the Indiana team, are getting charter flights and stuff. So the team doesn't have to fly commercial anymore. It's like she's making a big difference to not just her team, but across the whole league. Is sort of legitimizing, female athletics a little more.
That's awesome. College athletics in general have made some inroads, as far as better treatment the last several years. Yeah. I know, for instance, with the comeback of the college football video game, for instance, they're getting paid out where every athlete featured is getting at least $600 minimum in the whole college football.
Doing the whole image and likeness thing now that people actually have to pay the players for the usage of their image and likeness, which, of course, that makes a lot of sense.
College athletes work so hard, and a lot of times it's just, for tuition and...
Yeah, the amount of money that the football team pulls in, more than pays for all of the other sports and the whole university to exist, so...
I know this is not the most Fallout-related topic, but I wanted to let you talk about sports for a minute.
Well, and the biggest news in sports, Jess, is get your baguette, get a horizontal striped shirt, get a fancy cigarette, get on one of those Fashnacht berets. Let's go to Paris. I've been watching a lot of Olympics trials. The Olympics are next month, so they've been doing lots of qualifying and such. Lots of
and they're in Paris
track and
this year.
field. Yep, they're off in Paris this year. So
I've seen articles about it. I haven't seen any trials. I thought you were going to talk about the cricket match. Okay.
Oh no, what was that? What was
World
that?
Cup cricket stuff. India beating England handily.
Was that like one of those 8-day matches or whatever? I know cricket can get a little deep sometimes.
It was a good match, but I think in the end they beat them 170 some runs to just closer to 100. Seriously dominated them. India won in the traditional way of just getting way more at bats and way more runs. So good on them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really watch cricket. But
I've never seen a complete match. I've only ever seen the bowler hits the ball, has the wickets and stuff. I've just seen the setup, but I don't really know anything about the sport.
It's a cool sport. I've watched a little bit of a match now and again. One of my favorite movies is about cricket, so I have a little bit of interest in it. And yeah, good time.
I ran into her heading past Diamond City the other day.
She's at the Drumlin Diner again.
Cricket is always winning, or at least she's always scoring the best drugs.
She does score.
So bringing it back to Fallout. What a good segue, Ray. That was amazing. The last 2 weeks, which once again, people listening, you probably noticed we almost never take more than a week off in a row. And again, we didn't, but we're doing every other. There were a lot of vacations this time of year, people traveling. Beginning of the month, I wasn't feeling well on a Friday, so that's why we're kind of every other. The last couple with a Vault Talk in between, which is great, because we are getting the Vault Talks in. And let's be honest, doing 8 shows in a month in May was a lot, or what have you. So, this is working out. But so next week we might be off again, because I know there's a lot of vacation and stuff happening around the July 4th holiday.
Yeah, 4th of July.
But if we are, there will be Vault Talk coming out anyway, Vault Talk 7. And 6, of course, just came out a couple days ago, so we're almost done that series.
And we recorded 8 already, so it's in the can.
Yep, exactly. So I've been playing a lot of Fallout 76 the last 2 weeks. Well, not a ton, but that's the main game I've been playing when I've had time. Because I had to get, we're in that new season like we talked about. We've got the new content. I've gotten a little bit further in that. I've done the new events a number more times now. It's funny. So when they first brought in I believe Dangerous Pastimes is the event that was at the top of the hour. Every hour, you know how they do that when they have new events? They'll often run at top of the hour for a week or two. And they were doing it with the Dangerous Pastimes, with the lightning ghouls and super mutants and such. But there was a bit of an issue with the way creatures are spawning. So after they took it out of the top of the hour rotation, they didn't actually announce anywhere except for in Discord. But people were asking, isn't this supposed to be in the regular rotation now? I haven't seen it in a week and a half. No, it is officially down. So if you've been looking for that event and why it's not happening, yeah, they're tweaking the spawn rate and changing a few things with it. The other big event there, the one you get with the Storm Goliath, which is the new nuke event, when you nuke Skyline Valley, and then you have to fight the large Storm Goliath there in the arena. Have you done that yet, Andrew? I know Ray hasn't, but have you?
I have not seen any of the new content yet.
Oh gosh, I've probably done at least 10 of these battles already. It's the new Scorch Beast Queen. Right now, there is a weakness that they have too that I'm sure will be fixed, but they are incredibly susceptible to rad damage. So if you're going in there with a gamma gun, you're going to take them down quick. If you're going in there with an auto axe and you have overly generous mounted on your character, so you're giving rads with every hit and the auto axe is attacking so fast, you can melt a Storm Goliath, maybe one of the toughest enemies they've had in the game after Earl. In probably less than 10 seconds if you got your perks set up right. But it's only with the rad stuff. Yeah, Silior in chat mentioned sometimes he misses it if you can't travel there immediately. It's if you're wondering why, geez, how are people taking these guys down so fast? Why is the event ending in like 3 minutes total? That's why. And of course, word is spreading. So the first week or two it was out, they were taking quite a while. Because the way the event works, there are these 3 Goliaths that wake up you have to fight. And every one you take down, the remaining ones get powerful. So you get, 2 more powerful than 1 very powerful. So the strategy is to kind of take them all down equally, spread the damage so that they're not extra powerful for that final one for too long. But yeah, radiation damage right now. So I'm sure that'll be fixed too. The event's still active if people nuke the area, but that's what's going on. So in 76, I've been playing probably twice a week, not like a ton, still just because I've been busy with all the extra editing and stuff going on. But Scoreboard, I wanted to get a good kick onto it, and last weekend was double score. Hopefully people took advantage of that a little bit. So double score plus popping a score booster is a pretty good hit. So if you're Fallout first, you're going to get that 5% boost right away. Then you pop a 25% score booster, as you know, like the one that you do right from the menu. That's still there, by the way. If you press your start button when you're looking at the season menu, you can use a score booster there. And that lasts 24 hours. So that gives you a 30% boost right off the bat. And then with the double score last weekend, it was solid. So I am up to rank 32 in 2 weeks, which I'm pretty happy with. Considering I've only probably played 3 dedicated times trying to get score. Yeah. Worked out. So that's good. Unlocking some cool things this season. The Pioneer Scout theme, not everybody's into all the awards. And I think we talked 2 weeks ago on the episode that came out about how there are less rewards this time. 80 some compared to 90 some before, same amount of tickets, all that. So we already did the math. Don't need to do that again. Every time we get a new season, there are people who say, I don't know, this is a bad one. I don't like the prize this time. This one is not as good as the others. And then there are people like, oh, I like this one better. And I thought this was going to be one that was universally like, it's okay, but the rewards aren't as great. And no, there are people out there who are loving it. So
really?
It's always personal taste. Yeah, it's always
What are the highlights of the score? It's not scoreboard anymore. What are the highlights of the blah, blah, blah?
Seasons board. Well, I mean, that's going to vary person to person. But there's a kick-ass canoe. You get a canoe on the first page, which I actually just used in a build because I did the Bethesda. You know how they do a camp theme build each month? They have a theme for a little competition.
Yeah.
I actually did the competition for the first time in a while. And
Did you win?
I did a little raft. I did a little raft with my stuffies out in the water. The theme was fishing. I had to go along with the Pioneer Scouts. So I built a raft and I stuck some canoes and stuff in there. So we got that. Lobster traps, camp signs. It's all kind of scout related for the most part.
Nice.
Scout and wildlife. Weird things on the board. There's a Tato generator. That one's strange. Oh, there's a creature called Blinky. So I don't know what this is. You know how we get jars of random unidentified things sometimes? Like, jars of brains,
Yeah.
jars of body parts.
Is Blinky a jar of eyeballs?
He's kind of like a weird oversized tadpole creature.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's actually kind of cute.
Does he have lots of fingers in his mouth?
I don't know what it's supposed to be. No, it's not a golfer, but there's kind of a thing there. Oh, here's something that you'd probably think is cool, Andrew. I don't know why I think this, but I think you would. It's a dissection kit, and it's a whole big old rad toad dissection, a frog dissection.
I don't know about that.
That'd be a big dissection table. Those things are hefty.
It's the little glowy frog. Sorry, it's the little glowy frog that jumps around.
Okay.
Yeah, rad toad would be much. You get lost in there.
It was some of the more traumatic days of high school were the frog and the fetal pig dissection days.
Oh, God, the
I
fetal
didn't-
pig dissection. I tried to get out of that. Yeah.
I never liked
'Cause
that stuff.
I didn't just do biology. I did anatomy and physiology, and I was,
Oh
that's
Lord,
what I was,
yeah.
all the way down. Way too much. But yeah, so standout items, those are some of them. There's an outdoor movie projector now, so if you want to do an outdoor theater. There's a picnic basket. A lot of it is just kind of Shenandoah Scouts picnic theme stuff. So not a huge standout for me, like I'm saying, but there are people who are liking these things. So
The Yogi Bear sign from Fallout 4, please. It's like the "Don't feed the bear" sign. That's totally a bear eating.
yeah, that's on your favorite trash can there. Your favorite stash box trash can has a picture.
Love it.
Now,
Yeah.
does the projector show the movie from Far Harbor?
Oh, wouldn't that be
That
awesome?
would be outstanding.
Yeah. It doesn't say what it shows. It's not a full drive-in theater size screen. It's outdoor. The projector is on a stump, but it's still a medium-sized screen. One of my favorite new
That's pretty
things here. Oh, there's a
fun.
bicycle. That's cool. You can just build a random bicycle in your camp. Will like that.
Yeah, Bikes of Fallout, right?
So one of the things that I'm really enjoying in the update, besides the general quest line, which I'm halfway through now, and doing the season, which I'm glad I'm grinding it out pretty quickly. That's good because last season I was a bit slow off the finish line. But I'm enjoying some of the creatures in the new area. So we talked about the radiated turkeys, the thrashers. I've had more time with them now, and they are really cool. I'm having fun. The alphas are aggressive. The regular aren't necessarily aggressive unless an alpha sets them off. But they're very articulated. They've got these cool fan tails that feather out, and yeah, I'm liking the turkeys.
So odd. Are you wearing your turkey outfit to the turkey encounters, I hope?
Maybe yes. So yesterday I did a thing. I haven't shared the pictures yet, but I managed to capture a turkey and ride it. I've got a turkey mount.
Oh, that's spectacular.
I'm very proud. It was goals. So yeah, I can't wait to share those pictures. I have to save them. Chat's like, what? You can ride them? Okay, no, it's a little bit of just picture magic. I might have floated a bench and got things set up so that it looks like I'm riding them while the turkeys are wandering by in the area.
The old turkey saddle. Come on.
Exactly, turkey saddle.
Yeah.
Such
You might want to avoid the pictures of you in your turkey suit mounting a turkey.
Oh, no. Not like that. A lady rides side saddle on her turkey.
Stuffing has a whole new meaning.
Oh my. But yeah, so 76. Scoreboard, halfway through the actual new content. Still not done yet because I'm not rushing it. I'm only playing, like I said, maybe twice a week. But getting that in, really still loving the graphics. New area is so detailed and the lore is great. There's so much to discover. There's some great camp locations. So that's been good. When I was in there, even with Gato friends, and we're running it, nuking the area, for that event and stuff, there's just, once again, it has expanded the world of Appalachia. I will say, and I know you guys haven't done it yet, but this is the best expansion since Wastelanders. 100%, hands down, no doubt. Much more so than any of the Steel Dawn or Steel Rain. Much more so than cool-ass camp slots. Nuclear Winter, I know, only I would consider that an update, but it was cool. Nuclear Winter, okay, this was as big, but that was before Wastelanders, so we can skip that one. Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm really enjoying that. And speaking of fun things like riding turkeys and camp competitions, last night I built this whole raft for the Bethesda camp competition, and I'm hoping people like it. It was a really fun build. I haven't built on a river in a while. That's a little challenging.
What kind of a raft we talking about? Like a Tom Sawyer Huck Finn type thing, or a
Tom Sawyer Huck Finn, but like crossed with a party boat? So like 3 times as big, with a stove and balloons and a tent canopy. So I guess nothing like that, really.
Huck Finn party boat.
As
Huck Finn is known for partying on his boat, right?
I have not read either Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn in a long time. I know that they painted a fence and they had a raft.
Yeah, see, the fence was Tom Sawyer, the raft was Huck Finn, I think, if I remember right. I don't remember. Raft could have been both for all I know. I don't remember.
But yeah, this was a fishing expedition. They're catching some cool-ass fish. They're drinking the drinks. Popular the raft with stuffies. There's probably like 20 of them on the raft at least. It's a party.
They didn't add a fishing animation or anything, did they?
No, but
I still haven't done that in Skyrim yet.
I wish we got one. We did get a bugle animation. There's a cool new bugle animation.
Bugle?
Yeah, you can pull out your little bugle, and it's funny because right in somebody's face, like exactly head level with the bugle. So it's actually kind of
right
obnoxious.
Very cool.
I guess the only other thing to mention in 76, which more of an Iguana Bits thing, because I haven't done a lot of it yet, just one round so far, but Fashnacht is back and started on Tuesday. We've got 2 weeks of Fashnacht. We'll get into the details, but it's great. There are all kinds of new masks. I do think they improved the drop rate slightly. Like always with Fashnacht, a lot more people jumping in, just like the first week of Meat Week, first week of Fashnacht. Now, there's no guarantee your friends will actually be there by the second week, even if you see them. They might just be hanging out of that tuba, blowing away. I know a few of our friends like Bob resemble that remark with how he was on the drums during Meat Week.
Bob said he was having issues, though. What was he doing?
Oh, no, he was just trying to get all the rewards. So he was doing a whole lot of AFKing there. Mentioning issues, he might be talking about hotel internet. He did.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. The hotel internet probably kicks him out.
Hotel internet can be a bitch. Yeah, our friends who travel a lot, it's got to be hard playing an online game, an MMO, with bad internet sometimes. It can make actually completing an event quite difficult. The moral of the story is, don't leave your house unless you have to for work.
Or you get a very kind sister to log in with your criteria and do her dailies and your dailies too.
Yeah, speaking of all the shout outs to friends who log in with your character and help you AFK during Fashnacht or get your goals done. But siblings or otherwise. But yeah, that's pretty much my gameplay for Fallout. Beyond that, I am still playing. So I think I mentioned playing State of Decay off and on, the zombie game, State of Decay 2. I had been really into it like when it came out. Like 4 or 5 years ago, so a little after it came out. And with State of Decay 3 being announced at the not E3, got back into it a bit, and that it's a fun zombie game. If you want a fun solo survival zombie game, it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's a good time. So it has a Fallout feel too, in that you can be very lonely. It's just you with a small band of survivors, a lot of exploring, and a lot of stealth zombie kills. So that's a good time. Kind of raise speed with the stealth zombie killing.
The ones that only give you 3 bullets and make you choose all the time whether you need to use a bullet or run. Those make me so fucking nervous. I don't know if I have fun when I play them. It's more like relief than fun. You know what I mean?
When ammo is low, yeah, it's like the worst of survival mode, the hardest thing when you're always about to die, running out of ammo, all that. But gotta be first person, though, for Ray to enjoy it, right, Ray? That's kind of key. Yeah. So did that, and the only other thing came out, I downloaded it, but one of my top 3 games from last year, I talked about it, it was Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, which was...
I vaguely remember you mentioning that. What was that again?
It's a musical adventure, kind of like a Telltale game, but like a Telltale game crossed with a TV musical. So like the Buffy Once More with Feeling or the Scrubs musical episode. It's got that kind of vibe where you're going through an adventure, but you keep breaking a song, and it becomes a choose your own adventure, make your own song. So you choose the lines you sing. You can change the songs when you play.
Didn't you say you replayed it an embarrassing amount of times or something?
Five times in a month. Yeah. I was kind of grabbed like Bellatra, one of those games where I'm like, I cannot stop playing and replaying this thing.
That's fun.
But yeah, it's because of the fact that you are making your own music with your choices. I wanted to hear all the songs and all the characters and endings, you know? Plus, not that I'm, a cliche sucker for romance, but there were 4 characters you could romance, and of course, I needed to romance all of them.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I totally did. So anyway, the DLC just came out 2 days ago. I was excited because I was so hyped about it. I tweeted about it, and the company that makes the game actually retweeted my tweet too.
No way, nice.
Very sweet. Yeah, someone besides Fallout retweeted my stuff. That was very cool. But it's DLC for Orpheus. So Orpheus you met in the first game briefly, but he's played by Anthony Rapp, who you guys are probably familiar with. He's a musical star and actor. I forget the name of his character in Star Trek Discovery, but he plays the engineer there. He was known also for Rent and just a number of roles. He was the lead in the musical Rent. But he's playing Orpheus, which is Orpheus is a bard, but he's a rock bard. It's hardcore. Also, I'm getting made fun of in chat while it retweets your stuff. LOL. Yeah. I'm glad they did it twice in the last week. I'm very happy about that. Thank you, Follow, always. So yeah, Stray Gods, awesome. I cannot wait to play this.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's me.
Sounds
how about you guys?
Fun. How about you, Ray? Did you get a chance to play any video games last couple weeks?
I have. I was on a trip, so I had a little bit of a break in my gameplay, but after we talked last, and I started talking about my favorite Fallout 4 character that I had nuked. I loaded the alternate start mod for Fallout 4 and did a quick little character build with my stealth melee. I've got it all laid out already, so it was easy to just go through and start playing. So
that Start Me Up, is that the Fallout 4 one,
yeah.
or is that the Skyrim one?
No, that's the Fallout 4 one. So that was fun. Still doing a little bit. You try to see how early you can get through Pikmin's gallery. That's definitely a tough fight. So, but and then kind of following on the theme, I had also on Skyrim, the last time I was on Skyrim Addict, we talked about the Shadeling character from Couch Warriors. And so I rebuilt that character and have been working on getting that one put together. That character comes together at about level 52.
Good Lord.
So that's been a bit of a challenge, but it's a fun character to play. It's a stealth assassin that mostly uses magic.
I love that idea. Stealth magic is, I think it's cooler than stealth archer. What do you specialize in a specific school for a stealth assassin mage? Or
Alteration has to be it because of the silencing one, right? Isn't that your most important spell, the whole thing?
Well, that's illusion.
That's illusion. Okay. That would be the first and foremost, the star that you have to get first, and that's probably illusion 100, isn't it?
No, you can get silent casting. I think it was at about level 50. I got it.
Really? That low? That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, illusion and destruction. So you set a lot of runes, try and make traps, and there's a whole mechanic to it that's gets a little bit tricky to play with, but it's a lot of fun.
Are runes kind of like the mines of Skyrim?
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
Because I never remember to use my mines, and I never remember to use my runes. So that's cool you're actually using them.
I've been using them a lot this playthrough that I'm doing with my Ice Mage, because the higher level ice spells seem to be like single shot, whereas I'm not a good aim, so like I like a continual shot thing. But at least with the runes, if someone's like, I'm fighting someone or chasing someone, I can throw it on the floor near them and it'll explode anyway. It's just like, so I've been using it like it's a casted spell instead of a trap. It's basically just throwing a bear trap at someone's face. You know what I mean? It's like, here, catch.
Nice. Hot potato.
Yeah, so we'll have another episode probably next week, and so I'll have a lot more detail on that one. And then I loaded up the alternate start mod for Starfield.
Is this a new one?
Reasonably. It's not like super new. But it's only been out a couple of months, so.
And PC only, I'm sure, not part of the new creations.
It could be.
Okay, might not require the whole script extender or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, it lets you. So I started in Aquila City, and so I had not been to Constellation at all. It's a little bit challenging because you don't get that nice fat check for the artifact when you get back to Constellation. So you start out with no money, and so you have to work on it, getting yourself built up from scratch. But I joined the Freestar Rangers and went through that quest line, and so that was fun. So that mod's been interesting to play around with. I had started with a role play mod, but it had some really weird stuff that I didn't like, and so I just disabled that one. But between the alt start and the file not found, the blank canvas that you get, those two mods, it was fun to really kind of play around with some unique starting abilities. So
that's great, and mods really beginning to add a lot to the game. I was looking at in the creations menu alone. I know the Nexus is obviously going to have more, but I think creations is up to, is it 900 and some at this point mods that have happened in the last month since it's been announced? Let me check that number, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's not surprising, and it's it's good that Xbox is finally getting access to mods. But most of the stuff that's there is just mod creators that have ported all the stuff that they already had on Nexus over to Creations.
Yeah, some of it's definitely being ported. But it's great to see some of it on Xbox and all that. I still am not running with mods much myself because of the whole achievement thing like we talked about, but it's good to have some of the friendly ones in there. And just more and more I'm seeing people install some really cool looking things. It's changing the game. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously that's what mods do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't opened the creation window at all.
Wait, you
so I'm not-
haven't?
No. So I have no idea what's actually in there, but there's definitely some good mod achievement fixes that lets you keep your achievements enabled even if you're using mods.
That's excellent on PC that you can do that. 962. I just pulled up the list. 962 creations in under a month published, in the new system. And of course, yeah, some of them were done with the other framework ahead and not necessarily, just via the creation kit. But how amazing is that?
It's been really hard to keep track of it.
Mhm.
I think I was looking at it last week, and it was like a Thursday, and there were already 233 new mods for that week.
It's Jerry and a few other friends have been sharing some of the ones they found that they really like. Of course, we've got friends on Twitter who are sharing ones that they like, and a lot of people out there testing different combinations. I have one friend who plays on Xbox and has a good 130, 140 mods, and these are not very well tested yet. He's just going crazy with them, keeps breaking his game, having to reinstall once a week since he started, but hey, worth it, I suppose.
Yeah, there's definitely some fun stuff. So the one thing that really surprises me is that the mod author for Star UI still hasn't resurfaced, best I can tell.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's odd.
Yeah. And so
Does that mean that it may start to lapse and not
Yes.
be fixed?
well,
or-
so already in order to make it work with the new game update, there's several mod or patches that I have to run in order to make it work. And if you use the Star UI shipbuilder, you have to you have to run a mod that skips the empty habs
Mhm.
because that totally breaks the Star UI shipbuilder.
It just wasn't designed for that and hasn't been adapted. I mean,
Yeah.
perhaps the person is working on it quietly, separately. I hope so.
It doesn't appear to be, because there's really not even any comments on the mod page. So usually if a mod author's actively working, they'll post comments on their Nexus page, but we've got nothing.
That's too bad. I hope someone else takes it over or uses it as a launching point for something else because I know people have really enjoyed it.
And I'm kind of surprised that there isn't, another version of it.
Mhm.
Somebody else making a UI mod to replace it, because it's so much better than the vanilla menu that I'll use it broken before I'll not use it at all.
And I think you're not the only one. People really seem to like it. Well, I'm hopeful then. So I was trying to, while we're talking, look up how many of the creations on the list are paid creations at this point. Because I'm just curious, if there are 962 creations, how many are paid? I can't find a way to sort on the website by that like I can on the actual dashboard. But I think there's only about 15 paid mods so far. So I'm happy to report that paid mods are not taking over. For any people beating the drum about, how they're going to ruin the game. They are not yet ruining the game. Nor do I expect they will.
No, I wouldn't think they would.
Do you foresee Starfield being one of the games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim that you can just have, long-term replayability for years to come?
Oh, for sure.
Is there anything structurally between the three games that makes one of them better or worse for replayability? In that same vein, same question.
I mean, I think Skyrim has the edge because,
it is such an open sandbox where, because it's all one location, they can just keep dumping more in. I mean, I know Starfield will have that over time.
Yeah, Starfield, I think, has the most potential.
Yeah, by far, because it's just got so much room and so much that can be done. And they're looking to support it even longer, with the expansion coming out and more in the future. But
but at this point, yeah, I'd say it's Skyrim.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, and a lot of the stumbling blocks for Fallout 4 is the voice protagonist. That creates some difficulties in open-ended role play differences.
Mm-hmm.
But
Fallout 5 will not have a voice protagonist, yes or no?
That is a hard question, Andrew. If I were to actually speculate or wager, I would say, yeah, it might.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't
know
think they'll
Skyrim
do that
will.
again.
I mean, I think that.
What if they
that
do that to
bruise
Elder
hasn't
Scrolls?
healed.
Oh my god, people will revolt.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they stepped back from it for Starfield, of course, after action for Fallout 4, and they'll probably step back for it for ES6. But now that Fallout went there, and one of their bigger complaints about Starfield is not having a voice protagonist, I mean...
Really? I hadn't heard
a
that
single
complaint.
person
Yeah.
say that.
Well,
I hadn't heard
it's-
that one.
You don't listen to the haters much, Ray, which, that's smart. Good on you. But when I do watch some of the hate videos, the complaint videos, and the way they don't like the classic, zoom in, NPC zoom when you're talking to a character like that, those same people who don't like that, also, they're like, I miss the dynamic dialogue of Fallout 4, where you look at the character, and then you look at yourself, and you look at the character, and, that's what other modern games do. We enjoy the silent protagonist, and hey, maybe they won't. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did for Fallout 5. We'll see.
Yeah, it is the only time I ever see my character,
Mm-hmm.
or when I'm taking a picture.
Which you do some for sure. Love
So-
seeing your ships and stuff. I know you're not doing as much shipbuilding these days, or at least not sharing as much, but
Yeah, I haven't. I've been having fun with this Ranger character, and I did a big rebuild of the free starship that you get. But I'm kind of itching to do another pirate, and do just all space.
yeah, a space-based character, all pirate, like use the key as your home once you get in there.
Yeah.
That would
And
be cool.
so one of the traits that I never use is the spaced. I use terra firma because they're more often than not you're going to be fighting people on the ground. But
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't really captured by the bounty hunter faction with the functional brig, where you can capture criminals and turn them into guards in the city for cash.
Right? Do the two work together?
Yeah, so this was, I haven't tried them with the bounty hunter faction, because I did a character with the bounty hunter and just wasn't really, it was like, okay, one and done.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got really boring. So with this, it's kind of, I'm the ranger, so I'm fighting, pirates and spacers, and am able to capture them and take them into the city and turn them in.
Makes it feel more appropriate.
Makes it
Yeah.
feel, more tied in, and
Immersive.
since I'm already there anyway, for other things, it it makes it work. I pick up the rescue so and so from the Rangers bounty board.
I
And
like
then
those.
You
I like
can
those.
You can capture the people that are holding, your hostage, and bring them in along with freeing the hostage. So that's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's actually a cool expansion. I like the Ranger Bounty Board. People, I know we're going deep on the Starfield tonight, but people who don't play those repeatables much, the Rangers are a great repeatable to do, because after you've done like 4 or 5 of them, and then you start repeating them more often, you get special missions every few from, what's his name? Is it Manny? Is it Diego? You start getting special missions from him, which are really good ones.
The guy that sits at the table next to the stairs.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
guy.
he's a dude, and they're still just bounties off the Ranger board, but they're usually a little bit more involved and kind of fun, like the new faction for the Bounty Hunter faction. Also, people who are trying the Bounty Hunter stuff and they're have bounties to bring people in alive, and you get them on their knees and it won't let you arrest them. I'm sorry, there's no fix for it yet in the game. You got to kill him. That's the only way to finish that quest and move on. You've got to, bust the bounty and move on. But it is good when you can bring them in alive.
Yeah,
Stuff.
So I was using functional brigs, but I've changed that, and now I'm using useful brigs.
I thought you were going to say dysfunctional brigs.
Yeah. And that one uses another mod, which is called Non-Lethal Framework.
Mhm.
And that's the one that allows you to, basically strip the corpses and take all of their stuff, not just the few things that end up in their inventory.
Yeah, the normal way, the normal Bethesda way.
Right.
If someone is wearing a certain set of gear and you kill them, you want to take that gear.
Yep.
And
so with the useful brig, it adds a craftable item, which is handcuffs. And so when you incapacitate somebody with an EM weapon, then you put them in handcuffs. And then from that point, you can then send them to your brig, or just leave them tied up and sitting in place.
I'm just making sure right here with the handcuffs and sending them to their room. This is, it's sounding like this mod could be modified for other purposes. Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely been fun. Got the wheels turning now with the alternate start mod. It's not, the end all be all, but it definitely is. It's an interesting way to be able to, kind of change up the beginning of the game.
Which is good, since that's the part you play the most.
Yeah, when you start as many characters as I have,
Mm-hmm.
That starts to get really, really tedious.
Look, kids, Big Ben Parliament.
It's Big Ben, kids, Parliament.
The mine on Vectera again.
So this has been interesting. To be able to get started this way. So
That's awesome. So Stealth Mage Assassin in Skyrim, the Alt-Start Ranger that you're actually playing for a little while here, and maybe Crimson Fleet next. The Alt-Start for Crimson Fleet, does it let you start over there too? Did you look into that? No. Okay. So you'll still have to get conscripted, as it were.
Yeah. So you can choose between, you can start in New Atlantis without Constellation. You can start it in Aquila City. Where else? Neon.
Sweet. So you can actually take the Neon Street Rat background and start as a Neon Street Rat.
Yeah. In Neon with, with no skill or with it's just, level 1 essentially. Instead of the level 5. Now you still get I really had my fingers crossed. Please, please, please let us not have the Frontier.
Right.
But because the game doesn't work if you don't have the Frontier. If you don't have a ship,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be conscripted to an 8,000 meter square.
Yeah, you live here now. You live on Neon and like there's 2 areas until you can get enough money to afford. And oh god, we're at Neon too. The pricier ships are kind of the default, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd have to scrimp and save for a while to be able to leave. Still,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool goal.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, but yeah. So it's it's got some interesting options to it. So looking forward to exploring that.
So that's Skyrim and Starfield. Did you complete the trifecta and play any Fallout?
Oh, I played Fallout 4.
Right. Okay.
So I got that character going, and one of the I wanted to start out at Sunshine Tidings because it's kind of a centrally located, made it easy to get around. But the thing is that unless you are dedicating skill points to the charisma tree, you're not going to be able to build any workbenches.
Right. That whole system.
And so, you're kind of tied into, either Sanctuary or Red Rocket.
Yeah. I mean, a few other settlements, or you need to start using the one inside of the towns, like Diamond City, for instance. You can get everything there in the market.
Yeah. So, and that's what I was doing for a while, between Good Neighbor and Diamond City. I was able to get to the workbenches I needed.
Yeah, when I was hanging out at Hangman's Alley, I kept running. It's only 2 blocks away down to the Diamond City and using all their workbenches.
But yeah, so I ended up doing my standard build at the Red Rocket. I finally gave in and like, oh crap, okay, whatever. I'm here because I really needed to work on some armor.
Yeah, you need that solo area of yours for sure.
This
isn't survival though, right?
No.
Okay, so you can travel.
Yeah. But yep, so I'm running around with my Pikmin's blade now. And I've already gotten to sneak level 3. And so just being creepy, stabby. And you just Blitz makes it so much fun. So.
Blitz is great, yeah, for a melee build. When I got into the whole Blitz and Rooted thing, which I hadn't done, until that round table where you guys convinced me to go melee. Well, I rolled melee and you guys taught me how. It was fun. I still prefer guns, but it's fun. It's a fun way to play.
Yeah. So that's the bulk of it.
All right. Thank you, sir. My gameplay will be pretty short and sweet. I haven't done a ton out of the usual. Actually, kind of forgot the new season was on for 76. I haven't even really fired that up at all. I had every intention of going to explore the new, locations, new area, new zones, whatever. Still haven't done that. Haven't played any of the new events or anything. So
It's
Nothing
only
to- nothing to
been
report
not
on
quite
there?
2 weeks. Yeah.
Fashnacht, haven't done that yet.
Is it because you're playing Skyrim? I mean, also, we're taking up time with having, doing the Vault Talks and rewatching the show and all that. I know we're taking some of your game time, both of you. I mean, Ray has it to spare, but
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played a billion hours of Skyrim either. Just sometimes, I'm in one of those weird moods this week where I've been watching a show and then I turn it on and then watch 5 minutes of the show that you've watched 3 seasons of a row, and for some reason you're just like, fuck, I turn it off. I don't know. I'm done.
yeah,
like,
everybody gets in that hole sometimes when it comes to gaming or TV or whatever, the whole non-committal thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. My gaming was pretty light this week. I did run into that thing in Shelter where everyone was maxed out in their rooms, and I had gotten tired of switching everyone in the room, so everyone was max trained and just standing around waiting, and I was like, oh crap. So I took the hour to move everyone around and dump out all the inventory that I didn't need and sell all the junk and scrap all the crap and blah blah blah. Do all the inventory management that I hadn't been wanting to do.
Sounds
for a
like you
while.
weren't even feeling your Shelter this week, Andrew.
No, I wasn't really feeling much of anything. Got a couple of new people trained, maybe, but no, I don't know. Oh, I did. Big accomplishment that only 0.3% of gamers on Xbox reach this achievement.
The 20 legendary dwellers?
No, I've only got 3. I'll never get that.
That's the only one I don't have.
I don't know
It's
how you're gonna.
It's so hard.
I don't know how you're supposed to do it. The one I did get was craft all the was it room themes or whatever?
Oh, good job.
Yeah, I was surprised that so few people actually have done that one, because there's only 6 or 9 of them or something, right?
Yeah, people don't necessarily pay attention to all that stuff, and
Yeah.
maybe don't unlock them, because you do have to unlock all of them too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So no, yeah, that's pretty much my gameplay. Nothing too horribly exciting this week. Oh, Mo and I've been playing lots of Smash Bros. He's been getting DLC characters and playing that sort of stuff. A lot of my
sweet.
game time, has been Mo and I have been messing around.
That's fun. I mean, honestly, that's a great way to play too. As a dad, when your kids get into certain games they really enjoy, that's going to take over your game time.
And I've complained about it in the past. It's just, it almost gives me a seizure, though. Just how hectic Smash Brothers is, It's the screen is constantly flashing and vibrating and moving and whipping around. It's just, I don't even see my character after the first 20 or 30 seconds of the match. I'm just oh, I'm lost. I have no idea what's happening. But I'm getting a little bit better at that, but it's still, I don't know. He's doing a deep dive and watching YouTube videos about it and stuff, and learning all the special moves and everything. He's really into it right now. And,
That's awesome. Yeah. That's going to be really fun. That, whether it's Kart or Smash, those kind of games with family, they're great.
Yeah. And Party is really good too whenever he did Party. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, speaking of Nintendo, just because there was a Direct since our last show, and not that we talk about Nintendo that much, but did you see the news that there's going to be a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda instead of Link?
I did not, but that kind of makes sense because they, been doing the Peach game recently and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah, I heard the Peach game wasn't the best, but it's still nice to have it happen.
No, don't say that. I still want to play it.
you-
I didn't hear that. La 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 la.
I mean, it's
so
not.
you just sit in a room and wait for somebody to rescue
Come
you?
rescue. Yeah, that's what you do, Ray.
Yeah, you just there playing solitaire with Ganon,
You
hanging out.
powder your nose. You look
No,
pretty.
it actually looks really awesome. It's called Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and yeah, it's got a really cool vibe. I'm excited about it. It seems to take inspiration from Link's Awakening, so that's a kind of a classic one, but with a new kind of look.
I really dislike the recent wave of game subtitles, I guess.
I mean, they've always been a thing, but especially with Japanese games. Let's be honest.
The recent ones for Zelda, I don't know, like a Skyward Sword, kind of dumb, but whatever, that's fine. You know, Twilight Princess, kind of dumb, but yeah, whatever, that's fine. It's just, I don't know. Recently, it's Breath of the Wild. Like what?
They get. I mean, I don't know. I kind of thought Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Those are pretty
Tears
good.
of the Kingdom. Like I don't know. Come on.
Look, okay, I'm looking up the name of Kingdom Hearts games right now, okay? And don't get me into like Shin Megami Tensei and stuff, but the names they give things, like, hold on. Where's the game names for Kingdom Hearts series? It's just things like, you know, Kingdom Hearts, Dream Drop, Distance, Ranma over 1/2. I mean, it's just random things together as the subtitle. It's bizarre.
He just got out of a Pokemon phase mode. So were all of the Pokemon games colors or something?
Generally speaking, yeah, colors or, well, no, because you've got, for instance, X and Y, but the majority of them, you know, first you had blue, red, and then yellow. Then you had gold, silver, and
So
I think crystal was the third for that.
That was my next question. Are they released in like pairs or something? Like it seemed like
Yeah,
there was
always pairs.
Why? What
That's
caused
why
that? What is up with that marketing research that caused them to release two games at once?
So they've
What's
done it
up?
all along. Initially, I mean, well, yeah, a couple of reasons. First of all, you can sell more games if people want to get both. But originally, there were some different Pokemon in each, so that you encourage you to trade with friends to fill out your Pokedex and all that. So people can choose the one with the starter that they want, the theme that they want, and then trading was a lot of it. And then they started doing the thing where after they did the first two games as a pair, they would then do a version that was kind of like the slightly better version. And then, of course, 10 years later, they're doing, the remake of them. So like Gold and Silver got Heart Gold and Soul Silver, compared to the original, which, yeah. Okay, here we go.
The more
Here's
objects,
the
the more money they can sell.
Kingdom Hearts 358 divided by 2 days. This is a name.
Total sense. Total sense, right?
Oh my
Everyone
goodness.
knows
1.5 remix. Anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, and the Let's Go games Solir mentions in chat too. Anyway, subtitles for some games or sub-names are pretty funny. Oh gosh, speaking of another one that was announced at Nintendo Direct, and I know we'll get back to Fallout in a game in just a second, but they announced Dragon Quest III HD 2D will be out this November. Dragon Quest was my first JRPG, and played it on Nintendo back in the day, and loved Dragon Quest III. And so the HD 2D is like this cool art style that they do, where it's kind of isometric, but it's got like this neat little like animations and really good lighting. It's a really cool look, so I'm psyched for that. Although, as Jerry said, when are we going to have time to play these? Right? Like, get excited, but there's so many more games coming out, not to mention Starfield mods,
Starfield.
Shattered Space. We don't know when it's out yet. No date on that. Could be September, more likely November, December. We'll see. But cool. Is that it for your gameplay, Andrew?
I believe that's... Sorry, I'm reading about the new Zelda game. I'm like, okay, podcast over. Andrew's over here reading about Echoes of Wisdom.
That's why I brought it up, because it looks really cool. It does. It looks great. I'm psyched for it.
Revisit what the commentary has been on the Peach game, because that makes me sad that it's not well received.
So, yeah, I don't have many specific comments, except that it's just a little bit mediocre. Princess Peach Showtime.
I really wanted it to be awesome. I was going to get that like here in the next couple weeks, I think. So Wonder is getting better reviews?
Yeah, between the two, Wonder definitely has better reviews. I mean, It's not bad. It's gotten 7.5s to 8s on Princess Peach Showtime. So definitely,
that's
it's
that's pretty darn good for a game.
Yeah, it's just not the standout that a lot of the mainline Marios are. It's just kind of thin and repetitive is what people are saying.
Oh,
but that doesn't mean you can't have fun with it for a couple hours. Like, if you're not looking to make it your life, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. But the only problem is fun for a couple hours. Nintendo games are like $70 and they never go on sale, so they're not a
Right.
fun for a couple of hours type game. They you want to play a full 50 hours of a game if you're buying a Nintendo game new.
Yeah, whereas Wonder was really, it's 2D, but it's really creative. 2D style. They kind of redid the whole thing.
I like those side scroller ones though.
Hmm.
Those are fun.
Yeah, and this one does it different, so it looks really cool. Oh, guess who the bad guy is in Princess Peach Showtime?
Let's see. I hope it's Toad. That'd be funny. I don't know who.
No, she's actually helping Toad. It's an
Oh,
evil
nice.
sorceress named Grape, and her minions, the Sour Bunch.
Grape. Oh man, such whiners.
I know. Why can't they have real enemies like super mutants? Come on. Ooh, congrats to Randy in chat. Shout out, another shout out. Randy just got the Minotaur mask at Fashnock tonight. It's one of the new rares.
Minotaur, nice. Mm-hmm. Say Minotaur. That's a bull head on man's body with bull legs? Is that Minotaur?
Yeah, but it's just the mask, so it's more like you're cosplaying Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
So I was just
But yeah.
gonna say, but if you're only the head, doesn't it just look like a cow head, a bull head?
Well, but like a badass bull.
Oh, okay. Does it get the septum piercing?
Yes.
The control ring thing?
Got a nose ring and a goatee and a bit of a mohawk happening.
That's great.
A little bit like Bebop and Rocksteady, whichever one is the, bull-looking one. I can never tell which is who.
Let's see. He's a pig, is Bebop, and Rhino is Rocksteady.
Okay.
I think.
So the pig. The pig one, but
Yes.
a bull.
I believe, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I don't know.
Shout out to Cherry with her new Ninja Turtles tattoo. Got bricks behind it the other day too. So shout out to everybody. I told you it was shout out week. Sorry, you guys. Back
So
to the
many
show.
shouts.
Got a
so
game
many
for us, Andrew?
shouts. Oh, do you want to play a game? We can play a little game here. Let's say, let's check in.
What time is it? Game time!
So this time for game time this week, we're going to play a quick edition of
Shelter.
So, Helter Shelter this week, everyone. Quick reminder of the game. Fallout Shelter has a bunch of objects that you can collect. The descriptions of those objects are on cards that can be read in the game in your little collections area. And what I'm going to do is just read the description of the item, and you just tell me what the item is. Easy peasy. 4 different categories. We have weapons, outfits, junk, and pets. So,
And from which game?
from
Shelter.
Fallout Shelter, of course.
Okay. we
Wait,
got
wait,
this.
wait, wait. From what game?
Shelter.
It's a list player. You guys want to buzz in or go back and forth? I forget how we were doing that last time. Let's just go back and forth. How about that?
Let's go back and forth.
Yeah.
Give us a chance. Put Ray on the spot too.
All right. Ray, we'll start with you here. Number 1 in the weapons category, we have enemy head. I'm sure we'll hit it off. Do you know which weapon that would be describing? An enemy head? I'm sure we'll hit it off.
Baseball bat.
Baseball bat is correct, Ray. Good job, sir. Jess, you're up.
I'm ready.
Go mete out some punishment. METE. Get it?
Oh gosh, it's gonna be a cleaver or a tenderizer, probably. I don't know if there is a tenderizer in Shelter, so I'm gonna say meat cleaver.
I'm gonna give it to you because it's so darn close. It's the butcher knife. Meat
Oh, the
cleaver
butcher knife. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job, Jess. Ray, back to you for the third and last question here in weapons category. The odd spike might not pin a limb to the wall, but it'll kill all the same. The odd spike might not pin a limb to the wall, but it'll kill all the same.
Does Shelter have a railway rifle?
It is describing the railway rifle. Good job, Ray. All right, Jess, to you. First question in outfits. Because the vault's caps reserve doesn't count itself.
It's an outfit because the
outfit.
vault caps reserve doesn't count itself. What kind of outfit would have you counting caps? I don't know. Beh.
Ray, want to steal?
Does Shelter have the accountant's visor?
They have the accountant's outfit. Good job, Ray.
Funny, I was picturing a guy wearing the visor. I never thought of just the visor as the thing. That's awesome.
Ray. Favored by scientists and doctors.
Lab coat?
The lab coat. Good job, Ray. Jess, back to
Ray?
you.
He's pulling ahead so hard, Andrew. Hey, let's go.
Jess. Which outfit is best used when sleeping or ... entertaining?
Naughty nightwear?
The nightwear. Good job, Jess. Ray, back to you. That concludes the outfit portion. Now we move on to junk. This ant immolator might not work well on rad roaches. This ant immolator might not work well on rad roaches.
Oh, magnifying glass.
Absolutely, Ray. Good job.
Well played.
Jess, over to you. Great at keeping the wasteland heat away. If it worked.
And it's a junk item?
A junk item.
Fan. Desk
The
fan.
Desk fan. Perfect. You guys are good at these. Ray, back to you, sir. Brings you back to the carefree days of being a kid in the vault. This one's a little more vague. Brings you back to the carefree days of being a kid in the vault.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities for that one.
It's a little more vague on that one.
I'm going to go big. I'm going to go Giddy Up Buttercup.
Oh, Jess, would you like a chance to steal?
I'm going to try, but he's right. A lot of toys. Let's go with a toy race car. Toy
Hey,
race car.
you got it, Jess. Good
Nice.
job. Nailed it. All right, Jess, you get a start here. We're on to pets now.
There are only so many pets, so I think we're going to do better on this one.
There's only
I mean,
so
we've
many
done good on all
pets.
of them.
You think that there's only? There's only like
What is it, like parrot,
dogs,
dog, cat,
cats, but
monkey?
okay, there's those three, but they also have very many subcategories of those.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
I don't want to pick my dog breed. Okay, let's go.
Children, Brahmin, Death Claws. She can herd them all.
Oh, border collie dog. Collie dog.
Good job, Jess. The cattle dog. It's the herding dog. I'll give you that one. Ray, over to you, sir. She only looks like a wild child. She's as calm and cuddly as they come. She only looks like a wild child.
There's a pet?
This is a pet. She's as calm and cuddly as they come.
Cat.
Yes. Would you like to guess a subcategory? I'll give it to you anyway, but any breed cat? Super wild child looking kitties, Ray?
No.
Stray cat?
Maine Coon is what we're looking for there. Okay.
Maine Coon.
Jess, to close out the game here tonight. If you're ever lost in the Alpine, expect him to come a runnin'.
Ooh, ever lost in the Alp? Would that be the Saint Bernard dog?
Absolutely, the Saint Bernard. Good job, you guys. That was a
I played too
very
much
successful.
Shelter.
That was a very successful game of Fallout Shelter.
Shelter.
Thanks a lot for playing, you guys. All right, that concludes our games for this week. And Jess, you didn't bring. I thought you had something from a couple weeks ago. Was there something that you prepared? I thought.
I think the last game I prepared, we played.
Oh, we
I think
did
we had a
play
good
it.
time with
Okay.
it. Yeah, best game ever. Don't remember what it was. No. we've had some
we
good
did
ones.
one of the trivia things too last time. I remember. Right.
Right. Yeah. So this week I did this whole thing where I tried looking up a quiz while we were prepping for the show. Didn't find a good one. Didn't find a good new one that I wanted to do.
Quite all
Yeah,
right.
that was the highly disputed trivia game.
Oh yeah, the we got answers right that they said
We
were
did
wrong.
great, but yeah, no, we definitely. I think we got 4 wrong, and I think
Like,
3 of those we were
hey,
pretty sure we
wait
were
a
correct on.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm not pretty sure. We were absolutely positive.
100%, yeah. And I didn't make a new Wowie for this week, but you know what? I'll do Wowie next week probably, or next time we
Awesome.
play.
Sounds good.
I'm really enjoying those. Those are fun.
Everybody loves a Wowie. All right, Jess, why don't we check in and see what's going on in the wide world of Fallout news?
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Well, thank you, Jess. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, this is a good assortment of iguana bits. Let's see. First up, let's get into this community calendar right here. So, yeah, the new community calendar came out with the new season. Looking right now, we just finished Double Score Weekend. We are in Vajnacht. This weekend, script surplus. I mean, I guess I'm getting more legendaries from the event, but not very exciting. But hey, if you've got extra legendaries in your stash, you want to get rid of script surplus this week. But wait, what is this morsel here? Oh, okay. Really tasty iguana bit.
Uh-oh.
Double XP for the 4th of July holiday, y'all.
I want double score. Give me quadruple score.
I mean, double XP does help with score too for the whole score rollover if you're playing a lot.
That is true.
So there is that. And now that I'm level 300, I don't really care about XP. I mean, not that I ever did. but still, I enjoy leveling up as much as the next girl. So yeah, double XP, y'all, for the holiday weekend to celebrate the America's birthday in style. Looking ahead, not a whole lot else coming up in July except for the holiday is scorched in July for Christmas in July. So that's all we got on the calendar, and that's going to be late in July. So going to be a little while. Yeah, as chat is saying right now, level doesn't really matter. To paraphrase Aaliyah, level ain't nothing but a number. There's a blast from the past for my 90s kids. Okay. This is this is more than iguana bit. This is like a full-on iguana. There was a Todd Howard interview that came out from Mr. Matty Plays a week ago. Fantastic one-on-one interview with Todd Howard, the only one that he gave after Not E3, after Summer Games Fest. And we got some great information from it. I would recommend, as I usually do, people watch the whole interview themselves. But here's some fun tidbits, or not so fun tidbits, depending on your opinions or feelings on things. So one thing that came out, they broached up the idea of remaking Fallout 1 and 2. We've often talked about it, whether it could be done as a full remake in the current Fallout style, or more likely what I've talked about for, years now, is letting In Exile have a crack at them and remake Fallout 1 and 2 in the Wasteland engine. Unfortunately, with Todd's response to the kind of question about it, he talked at length about how he really feels so much of the charm of Fallout 1 and 2 comes from the old interface, comes from the quirks of that engine, comes from, what makes them special, which, to use the Fallout turn of phrase. So, yeah, it really seems after that talk that it's very unlikely that they have any plans to or are going to have anyone else remake Fallout 1 and 2.
That just sounds like excuse ridden. That sounds like he's lazy, don't want to figure it out how to do it. Doesn't sound like he's up to the task. That's really what it sounds like to me.
Ooh, those fighting words. But yeah, it could be that they have things in the works,
Yeah. And it gets better as this interview goes on.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. So one thing that wasn't brought up was Fallout 3 and remakes of other games. Because in the past, he's actually used the same kind of general comment about remakes in general. Talking about Fallout 3 in the past, talking about New Vegas in the past. But that wasn't broached this interview at all. Ray, what are you mentioning as far as it just getting better?
That Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6, they're in no big hurry to do those because people keep playing Skyrim and Fallout 4.
Yep. To be fair, he didn't say that about Elder Scrolls 6 this time, because they are definitely working on Elder Scrolls 6, and that is the next big game, and it might be coming soon. But he did talk about Fallout 5. Yeah, when it was brought up about Fallout 5, he's like, no, we're not in a hurry. He actually had a really great line, which I appreciated, was that it can be good to let people miss things. I thought that was a really intelligent line, that unlike Star Wars TV shows, where you just start pumping them out, sometimes it can be good to let people miss things and let people, wait for Fallout 5 a bit, which I get.
Yeah. Yeah, what I got was everybody needs to stop playing 76 and Fallout 4 so that they'll actually hurry up and make the damn game.
Yep.
And ESO. Yeah. No, Elder Scrolls, they are working hard on Elder Scrolls 6. I still am of the opinion it may be sooner than we think. Definitely by 20, but maybe sooner.
Yeah. I mean,
2027.
The big boost that they got from the TV show just made them, interlace their fingers and lay them against the back of their head and just say, okay,
nap time.
It's funny because I
the
interpreted
money's rolling in. Let's just forget about it.
very differently. So there was an interview. Ryan McCaffrey had an interview with Phil Spencer, for instance, at Summer Games Fest, and the Fallout TV show was brought up, and how long people have to wait for Fallout 5 and all that. And he said, I just want to say, Phil Spencer said, Todd is very aware of the popularity of Fallout right now. And that's all he would say. Not that he would be pushing the game, but Todd is very aware of the popularity of the series and the response to the Fallout TV show. So yeah, while Todd is not in a rush to make Fallout 5, because he's supporting Starfield. They're working on Elder Scrolls 6, which I do think they're in a rush to do, to get done. Todd has said many times, I wish we could make them faster. I wish they could, but they're not pushing Fallout 5. But it has been mentioned that there are other Fallout projects in the works, or at least hinted at. So I think the whole Todd is very aware means, other things are happening, just not Fallout 5. But no, I'm with you, Ray. That was a little hard to hear, but I don't know. I almost kind of liked it. I almost kind of liked hearing that about Fallout 5. Sorry, listeners, but we knew that he was working on Elder Scrolls 6 next, and then probably Fallout 5 after that. And
right. Yeah. I mean, that was the inevitable rollout schedule, was that it would be, the Elder Scrolls game, first, and then the Fallout game after that.
And Bethesda wants to do the mainline games. As much as they may allow the other studios to work on a Fallout spinoff or side project or what have you, Fallout 5 is not going to be made by another company. It's being made by Bethesda, and that's fair. And they're not doing it now, and that's fair. But it is a little hard to hear.
Just think of all those people that would be freed up if we would just stop playing 76 altogether, and then those people would have nothing to do but work on Fallout 5.
Well, that does bring us to another kind of cool thing they talked about during the interview. So Todd talked about the makeup of Bethesda Game Studios. It's, we've talked about in the past how even though they've got multiple locations now with Bethesda Austin and Dallas and Montreal and the main studio in Rockville, Maryland, they tend to work as a group. They tend to work as a unit on things. But now he got into discussing how they actually have 5 teams in the studio at the moment that are getting things done. So, for instance, there is a team dedicated to Fallout 76, which we know, and technically it's probably smaller than it was, but, Bethesda Austin working on 76, and of course with Double 11's help. So that's one team. There is a team, that had worked on Starfield and is still dedicated to Starfield and Starfield support, which makes sense. Last time they talked about it, he mentioned having 200 people on that team still working on Starfield support. So if Bethesda as a studio has around 450 people or so, a significant portion of them are still working on supporting Starfield for follow-up. That makes sense. He talked about the Elder Scrolls 6 team. There's a team, and probably the bulk of the studio, or at least ramping up to be the bulk of the studio soon, on Elder Scrolls 6, working on all that. He mentioned that there is a team, the team in Montreal. While they do work with them on other things, they tend to be mobile dedicated. They are the mobile team. So that is Montreal, currently working on castles, but maybe other things too. Obviously supporting Shelter. Andrew wants castles.
I don't understand why it's not available somewhere yet.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah,
man?
I mean, little by little getting to us when we finally get it. It's a weird way to do it, but it's being its best shape.
Shelter Online, for that goddamn matter. Or
Right.
whatever it's called, the other Shelter game. Ugh.
Yeah, but that's the Montreal team. That's kind of the fourth team working on mobile. And of course, they do help with other things too, because they are one studio. And then the final team, which he had, mentioned before, but they've got their Strike Force team, he kind of called it. Now, we know the Strike Force team is the team that helps work on engine issues, optimizing, helps with whatever needs done on various projects. So I would say the Strike Force team, for instance, some of the people that were working on, say, Wastelanders content originally. When 76 needed recovered and they put all hands on deck for it, there's the people working on that. But now they're the people focusing on wherever they're needed. So engine issues on one of the games, going and working on special projects for the games. I don't know if the Strike Force team was who worked on the Fallout 4. The remaster this came out, the special edition, whatever you want to call it, which obviously we know people have been having trouble with. So I think that was probably a smaller team within the studio who worked on that. But yeah, so that's kind of their fifth team is the Strike Force team.
I need those people to
Fix the load
get
times.
on the ball. Yeah. So I thought for sure that I was just imagining that the load times were too long. And then I started running the stopwatch on it. And, when the load times were over a minute, I'm like, okay, this must be a thing. So I looked it up.
Yeah.
And sure enough, and then the fix is absolutely ridiculous. But it works, which was cracking me up as much as it was pissing me off. So if you launch into a load screen
Mm-hmm.
and then press the Windows key and then press the Windows key again to close it,
Okay.
and then reopen the Fallout window.
Wait, so you're tabbing out, you're hitting Windows, and then back into Fallout?
Then it loads.
That is incredible. Yeah, so we hadn't talked about it on the show yet, but as much as there have been some benefits for console users with Fallout 4, we know it's been a letdown for PC users. There are some issues, and there are much slower load screens. I know a lot of it has been attributed to NPC edits, that whether it's the unofficial patch or anything else you're doing, but anything that is editing NPCs that you have loaded is causing much slower load times, which is so strange.
I have two mods loaded.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the script extender and the alternate start mod. That's it.
Yeah, and you're still having the slower load screens too.
Insanely slow.
And he's got the ultra slow load screens mod. He forgot about that one.
Yeah. Shoot, I forgot that.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah, that came bundled with my extremely fast video card.
You got to hold it back. You can't, you can't be too fast. Yeah, so that's a real bitch, and I'm annoyed and sorry for people dealing with that on PC with the Fallout 4 updated. It really does seem like,
Don't
as
be
much as there
sympathetic
may
for
be,
them. Don't feel bad for those people.
there may be some benefits in the engine for different stability things, even on PC. These slower load screens. I mean, yeah, no one wanted that. No one wanted that.
Get to tell him to go play Skyrim on PS3. He has no idea
It's
what a
an
slow
old
load
game.
screen
They
is.
shouldn't have just
Zero
maybe they shouldn't
clue.
have updated PC at all. Just gave it to the consoles, just gave it to PlayStation and Xbox, where we got some real benefit instability. And leave PC alone, guys.
They honestly didn't need it.
No.
No. Yeah, it looks so much worse than my, fully modded previous version. It's not even funny.
It's true. Shooting Fallout London in the foot, affecting all these previous mods. It just, yeah,
Yeah. I have yet to find any redeeming quality to this for PC.
And we were so hopeful. We were so hopeful it would be a good thing.
Well, I was just hoping it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, that too. I'm sorry, Ray, but you're right, Andrew, though. You try PS3 Skyrim load times.
So you can flip over the laundry, go get a drink, hit the bathroom, brew some coffee.
Back to the Todd interview after, the makeup of the special teams and how they work, what they focus on. One thing that he brought up was how with Starfield and looking back at their other mainline games, one thing they wish is that they supported older games longer. This is leading into how they are planning to support Starfield for several years and, create more expansions after Shattered Space. But looking back at Skyrim and how, they, back then, they did the DLC, they did Hearthfire and Dawnguard and Dragonborn and then moved on. And they didn't have a team dedicated to kind of maintaining and fixing things. And that's one thing people talk about, how Bethesda games, there are persistent bugs that have just never been fixed. And, the unofficial patches help, modders help and stuff. And Fallout 4, very much the case. Fallout 4 was, well, we know, still is so popular. But at the time, when they were still working on it and really involved in the engine, they did all the different DLC, Far Harbor, Nuka World, and then they just moved on. Height of popularity. Fallout 4, they could have continued to support, make more DLC and expansions for. They also could have continued to work on the actual game and supporting the stability and all these little bugs that we know are there that were just never fixed. And, so Todd is talking about that, how he does feel they should have had a dedicated team for their previous games that supported the games longer. I thought that was kind of revealing. And the fact that that is what they want to do for Starfield is what it leads me into next. Shattered Space coming out. It's a Far Harbor size mod in some ways. It's going to be a dedicated area. It looks like it's bringing us to deal with the Varun, which we're excited about. Obviously, that's something we wanted, but it's going to be very localized in that it's going to be expanding on a planet. It may tie into other parts of the game too, of course. But it's going to be a large area to explore with a lot of story and saying Far Harbor size. His hope and plans, what their goal is to have a good, that size story expansion at least yearly. Obviously, that doesn't mean they're not doing other things. We got several expansions already this year, stuff like maps and all that. And land vehicles will be their own thing and, all that coming. But he's hoping to at least yearly for next several years, have good size expansions for Starfield. And I love that because it does say, hey, they will pay attention to the engine. They will keep adding to it. The only negative here, and I wonder what you're thinking about this, Ray, is if they keep working on the game, that means consistent updates for the game, which means not getting to the point where the modders take over, which that's good that Bethesda's in there working with them, but it does mean that things will maybe continue to break a little more often.
Yeah, they could. I mean, if they spaced it out, the thing is that they can't really commit any time and effort to helping modders because that doesn't fit with what makes them work. But there's certain core pieces of the modding that they could, and I think have in with the script extender group, make it a little bit easier for them to get ahead of these. The biggest issue that we've run into now is that as they so they come up with this great new stuff for Starfield. New way of handling assets,
Right.
assigning IDs and all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, in order that our programmers can, be more streamlined across the board and still work on these other, games, let's bring them into the same format. Well, now
Right.
that's when it just totally
That's really where the issue is
destroyed the mods.
some of the retroactive issues. Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. I mean, they are working very closely with creators. The new verified creators program, we've talked about how that's such a benefit, how it allows them to get more feedback on the creation kit, to optimize it, to make everything kind of synergize and work better together. So that is a real benefit. And paying attention to the games, you're right. I mean, maybe part of the issue with what happened with Fallout 4 right now and the next gen update is the fact that they weren't supporting it longer. And so they're trying to do like these wholesale changes in a way that's not as organic after they had stopped doing that for years.
yeah. Well, when they changed the ID system and, some of the interaction triggers and all that kind of stuff, it brought Fallout 4 more in line with the program design for Starfield. But it just absolutely destroyed the modders. And one of the things about the modding community is that they since these people do have to have day jobs, a lot of them move on
Mm-hmm.
and stop modding because now they're not a kid in college. They're somebody with a career and a family and zero time.
Right.
So they're doing other things.
Which is one of the good thing about the verified creators program is that for some people who are making money, they can still spend more time focusing on mods even after, which is nice.
So
But yeah, chat
I mean,
mentioned there was speaking of news real quick, there was an interview with Eleonora today that they put out on the official channel. It's just an expansion on the interview they did during the verified creators visit they showed a couple weeks ago, but where she's talking about how she got help from people at Bethesda on certain aspects of mods and such, which is nice.
yeah, it's helpful. But the one thing that she didn't really touch on was the fact that she actually worked on Starfield.
Right, exactly. She did a lot of the clutter for different areas and
Lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So she was already familiar with it. I'm excited with for the stuff that she's doing. When she does a themed house, it's so spot on. It's crazy. So I've already got my eye on the pirate themed build that she's done. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
and then talking about her building custom habs, that's for a character that's going to live in space, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so her touches on that kind of stuff are so good. So but I think she's a little bit unique in that fact that she actually worked on the game to begin with.
Right, even more than most. Yeah, I mean, we have people who were modders who went over and work for the company now, but she's done both, back and forth there. Yeah, and I think more of the verified creators will start to have potential to do that sort of thing as time goes on. But those are my big highlights from the interview. I just wanted to mention about Fallout 1 and 2, about the teams, about supporting older games longer, and that they're planning to do that more going forward. He talked a little bit about some of the stuff for Elder Scrolls 6 coming up, and not a whole lot of detail, but just, some nice teases. So it's a good interview. Definitely recommend taking a look at that. I wanted to give a quick Fallout TV show update in that the writing is definitely underway for season 2. We talked about that a little bit in Vault Talk and what's going on with that. But there was an interview with the writers there, Graham Wagner and Geneva Robertson Dworet are the two showrunners there in the writing room. And they actually, they said they stepped out of the writing room and working on stuff to actually do this interview there. But they have said that they are trying to get the next season written, and they want to get it out as soon as reasonably possible. So don't be surprised if it's actually announced and comes out in 2025. That would be very cool. I don't think we're going to get it this year, of course, but they're working on it hard, and they are doing what they can. They have a lot of assets already created, and they talk about that in a few interviews. There was an interview with the Hollywood Reporter the other day that I'm kind of referencing, where they're talking about how they're able to reuse a lot. They're in a good setting, and the fact that they're going to be filming this season is moving to California. We talked about how they got a grant to do that before. That is confirmed. They are going to be doing more of the filming in California. So they're bringing props and sets and stuff like that they had previously in New York and other places to their location. And it also means that they'll be able to actually just drive out, 2 locations in California and film too, because they'll be where they need to be. So yeah. I believe here's a quote. Wagner said, Graham Wagner said, I think the audience is going to find the lack of strain on our personal lives by filming in California palpable. I think there's going to be really smooth sailing because there's so much great desert here in California. We're scouting locations we can literally drive to. Also, less gray skies piped in Geneva. So that was really tricky about New York. They were shooting in both summer and winter, and New England has too many gray skies, which as a New Englander, New Yorker, I gotta say, hey, but also you're not wrong. They go on to say there's a reason why filmmaking came to California. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyway, as far as timeline, Graham Wagner says the internet has an interesting habit of making non-binding statements binding. So I'm hesitant to give a date that will be taken out of context and live on Reddit for a year or so. But, and this is what I was quoting earlier, here's the actual quote. We are going as fast as we possibly can. We've got a lot of heavy lifting from season 1 already done. We have sets, assets, visual effects that are already done. We're hitting the ground running. So we're pedal to the metal to get season 2 out as fast as humanly possible. End quote. Also, as far as the writing goes, Geneva says, quote, there are so many things you want to do in season 1 where we were like, that would be amazing. Let's do that in season 2. So it feels like we're much farther along, really exciting, and we're grateful for this opportunity. End quote. So yeah, I am. They wouldn't commit, but that sounds very positive. Just want to get into an Iguana Bits, the new Fashnacht Event Awards. If you haven't played or you've been like Andrew, just busy with other things, not super motivated to jump in, well, it's not the time of year for Fashnacht, but there are new rewards and a reason to jump in. So the new masks we can get. Are you ready?
Oh, there's always awesome new mask, and it's always like a 0.0000000 infinity chance to get one.
The drop rate seems a little better. We knew that they were testing and tweaking. Now, this is anecdotal. I haven't seen data miners yet who have come out and said, yes, there is technically a higher percentage for rare mask. But anecdotally, we're getting a lot of people who have done 10 runs and gotten a rare mask.
It doesn't matter because they keep adding more masks, which it doesn't matter what their drop rate is because they keep diluting the pool.
Yeah, dilutes the pool of the one you want. But if they have improved the ratio at the same time, it could be a little better. Anyway, here are the new masks.
It's amazing that they can. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. It's amazing that they can flag plans that you've already read so that you don't get those, but you get new plans, but you can still get 58,000 berets. Why can't they flag the beret? So, I don't get the beret, but give me one that I don't have. Substitute in one that I don't have.
Why don't they flag them so they just go to me?
All the berets right to Jess.
Yeah. Hello? How about we do that? Okay. Scorch Beast Queen. Beret. Only berets. For me. Do it. So they, like they did back in February with the real Fashnacht, we're getting it twice this year. They gave us both glowing and not glowing versions of the mask. So the unglowing ones are uncommon and the glowing versions are rare, which means you're more likely to be able to get at least a version of the rare mask, if not the glowing one. So the new masks are the unicorn mask, which is actually cooler than I thought it would be, by the way. It looks really cute. The Minotaur mask, The alien mask, which is one that I kind of want. It's a good looking alien mask, very realistic. The turkey mask, which is kind of like the new Thrashers. The Fashnacht pig mask, which is technically more Bebop and Rocksteady than the Minotaur. I don't know why I said it about the Minotaur before, but yeah, a big old pig with tusks. And the Robot mask. So that's 6 new masks you can get, plus glowing versions. Further diluting the rad pool, the loot pool, if you just want a Brahmin or you just want a Deathclaw. but they look pretty awesome. And like I said, I'm hearing feedback from people. Almost everyone that I have talked to who has run it has already gotten at least one rare mask in the first couple days. So that's a good sign. Might not be the one they want, but on the news front,
I'll run a few. I'll run a few just to see what's up.
Yeah, you gotta. It's, it's been 6 years now. Marching with Robots never gets old.
It's like you miss waterboarding eventually, if you've had it enough. Like,
if it's hot enough.
That old upside down drowning effect. I miss that.
No, I don't think so. We do not condone torture here on the Fallout. Shout out to not being tortured. Another shout out. So, Bethesda is running a Starfield Starship Design Contest. This was out of nowhere, just announced yesterday. It's running now through July 12th. You can enter a ship design for a chance to win some amazing prizes. You can check the rules on their Twitter or their Instagram, and of course on Bethesda.net. If you go to the news articles for Starfield, you can submit. There's a link. You submit a picture of your ship, 2 to 4 images. Only 1 submission per person, but 2 to 4 images of that. And it's a big old contest, but not only can you win glory, the grand prize is an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D card and an AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX. So you're getting graphics card and a chip. You're getting a custom poster of your ship.
You're getting my machine.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be like Ray? This is how you can be like Ray. You can get a one-of-a-kind poster of your ship made by Bethesda and some special Starfield posters. There are second and third places, which are just posters. And it looks like a number of other people that enter will get random drawings for prizes as well. But yeah, the grand prize for the best ship in this contest is an amazing graphics card. So I just want to shout that out. And I think that'll wrap it. That's enough bits for now. We have eaten well. They do have some featured mods and creations for both Fallout 4 and Skyrim that look pretty good. I will mention the ones for Fallout 4 now, the Fallout 4 featured mods, if you do check them out, are all related to the TV show. So you can get an actual like atrium cornfield, like featured in the show, for your settlement or vault.
Brain on cool. A Roomba?
Yeah, get yourself your own room, bud.
Can I get some buds? Some buds cryo cells?
Get your buds. And you can get a Vault 33 jumpsuit, all the good stuff. So that is awesome, but that'll kind of wrap our bits. Not a ton of news. I mean, obviously there was out of SGF, but we already hit on some of that. And, it wasn't all Fallout related.
Seriously, no castles or shelter updates came from that at all. That's amazing.
Yeah, you busted into the Xbox chat like a couple days ago, just randomly, like, any news on castles? Like, the second I hear, I'm going to tell you.
No Fallout 3 remake. No New Vegas 2. No.
That has to. They have to still be doing the Oblivion and Fallout 3 remake that was on that leak. They don't have to, but it was an official document. Multiple sources saying. I'm surprised it wasn't at the event, but they can only do so much. And, the big 76 expansion, that is a lot right there, so.
And the balls.
To announce.
The balls on him to say that they did not support Skyrim. Oh, we just did Dawn Guard and we did the Dragon one and we just kind of left it. What?
We keep talking about the fact that there's been
You
special
released
edition,
it fucking 12 goddamn
anniversary
times.
edition.
If you
Switch
if you
edition.
paid any more attention to the fucking game, it would think you were married to it, Todd.
When you put it that way, yeah. I mean,
what
you meant,
the
optimizing
fuck
the original
are you
game
talking about?
and DLC. But yeah, you're not wrong.
No game has been reissued more times.
13 years of Skyrim, 13 years and hundreds of copies.
The fuck is he talking about? Sorry, that just made my little propeller twirl on my head.
No, that is a hilarious comparison because you're not wrong.
All right. Thank you for the bits. I think tonight we have some shouts, and I have one big anti-shout. I'd like to get the negative one out of the way first before we get into the nice shouts. Anyone who out there is a fan of Mountain Dew and likes their products, they throw lots of iffy flavors out there. Mountain Dew
You
does.
do some really
And
random stuff.
So, like
Like
they had two
hot
patriotic.
Cheetos.
They had two patriotic themed ones this summer for, it's 4th of July weekend coming up and all that. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll try one of them. Oh, and this one is some lemonade flavor. I'll grab that. That looks good. Then I read it more closely. It's lemonade and peach, which, makes me raise an eyebrow immediately. And I'm like, uh-oh, this could be bad. I open it. It is the worst, chemically peach air freshener thing that I've ever had in my life. It is the fucking worst thing. I
How
avoid
Mountain
it.
Dew, God's literal nectar in soft drink form, delicious. I love Mountain Dew.
Oh, it's the
How they
best.
have so many nasty flavors.
Oh,
Like,
so many nasty flavors.
I mean, Baja Blast, delicious. Some of the others, good.
This one I'm talking about is called Freedom Fusion. It should be called Freedom Fission, and get the fuck away from me.
Well, so anti-shout out to that.
Anti-shout
to
out.
that.
Okay, so let's get into some real shouts for things that deserve good acknowledgments.
Shout out to OG flavors of cola. Shout out to my Diet Cokes out there. Shout out to my actual Mountain Dews. Shout out to throwback sodas with real sugar.
Shout out
to them.
Shout out to Green River.
What's the Green River?
It's just some green lime soda from the 70s or something. It was awesome.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Tab. The original.
Fuck yeah. Shout out to Tab. Shout out to Jolt.
disgusting
Shout out to all my shits.
Real shout outs, though. Shout out to our friend Randy. Randy in the Discord group and listener for a long time. He happened to have surgery this week. So shout out to Randy recovering well from that.
Heal
Glad
up,
to hear,
man. Heal
Randy.
up.
Yeah, he's healing up well. So shout out to him. Shout out to our friend Jesse, aka Captain Canuck, who shared his finished Fallout sleeve in our Facebook group a week and a half ago. And then I shared it on Twitter too, and Fallout retweeted it. So a lot of people saw it. He got the sickest sleeve. It's got a death claw and a vault, a couple of his 76 characters. Really cool. So shout out to Jesse for your awesome tattoo. Let's see. Shout out to Hotel Internet. For Bob and friends, anybody out there with crappy internet, shout out to working sometimes, but please be better. Shout out to that. Shout out to Fallout Tactics. Yeah, shout out to people already in Scorecation. You absolute madmen. If you have hit Scorecation here 2 weeks in, you are absolutely mad.
Does
But shout
Nino
out to
play
you,
anymore?
Moses.
He's probably hit it.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. He slowed down on that grind for sure. Shout out to Lee playing Fallout Tactics right now, our boy Lee. Fantastic. Gotta love that. And shout out to our other podcasts, Vault Talk. We recorded episode 8, like we mentioned. There may not be a new Fallout feed next week, but if there isn't, do expect you get Vault Talk 7 coming out. Also, released a Dames Who game for the first time in several months again. So if you didn't get a chance to listen to that, hey, check the feed. It's real. Dames are alive. There are a few more coming. I'm happy to catch up. We might even get 6 episodes out this year at the rate I'm going. That's pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good. Nice, indeed. Thank you, Chess. And shout out to everybody in chat listening. right now. We appreciate you guys coming and listening to us live with our pauses, awkward babbles, and occasionally losing connection where Andrew can't hear us. Shout out to you. Who else do we want to shout out? Shout out to Nachos. I freaking love Nachos.
Shout out to Nachos.
I'm running out of things.
No, Nachos are totally worth shouting out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Good shouts. Thanks everyone for I'll second Jess's motion of everyone in the live chat. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We need to do some giveaways. We haven't done that in a while. Still
shout out to giveaways.
Stuff.
That's a great
Shout
idea.
out to giveaways. Right on. All right. Do you guys have any other topics you'd like to discuss this evening?
Have any good food plans this weekend? Anybody?
Let's see. Weekend before 4th of July. I'm probably just cleaning the house and stuff because we're going to be going next week though. I don't know. I'm a big coleslaw fan, but not like the super sweet, like almost vanilla ice creams. I like it sort of a tangy sour.
Oh yeah, I drove through North Carolina last week, and when you get into Central North Carolina, they have a red slaw there that is just fantastic. Lexington
it's like red
coleslaw.
cabbage.
No, it's regular green cabbage, but it's vinegar and barbecue sauce essentially, instead of the creamy. It's kind of like the difference between New England and Manhattan clam chowder.
Right. I mean, except in that case, Manhattan clam chowder is gross. Whereas both here are pretty good.
I knew Jess would
it
have
is actually my favorite clam chowder, but
oh wait, really?
Wow.
oh yeah,
I'm sorry. That's my mana coming out.
That is a line in the sand
prejudiced.
for New Englanders, Ray. That is you across this line. You do not.
I'll be honest. I do like tomato soup with clams, aka Manhattan clam chowder. So, yeah, it's fine. It's just not. Why do they call it clam chowder?
What is technically a chowder? What is the definition of that makes a soup a chowder?
Doesn't it need milk?
Is it a dairy product? Is it like potato chowder?
No I
idea.
don't actually know, but I do know that I love coleslaw together with like pulled pork. So the idea of like barbecue flavor coleslaw sounds awesome.
Look up either Lexington coleslaw or red coleslaw.
Man, I could use a pulled pork place this week. Maybe that's my food plans for the weekend because I don't have any food plans right now. I just did groceries, nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. I just got hash and, I got some hash. I got some steak. I got good meats.
Hash
and
is
veggies.
damn
That's
fancy,
it.
man. I love hash.
Yeah, I can recommend the smoke pit in Concord, North Carolina.
There you
Oof,
go.
well, I'm probably not going to make that trip.
that was good food there.
We've got this place over near Rochester called Sticky Lips. That's my favorite barbecue in the area. It's a little ways away.
Indiana's
Yum.
not exactly known for our barbecue, I don't think.
I bet you got something. I mean, you have no vault.
No, I mean we definitely have plenty of tasty barbecue places, but it's not like Indiana has their own inventive sauce style or, smoking. Like all the different Kansas City versus Texas versus North Carolina versus South Carolina versus whatever. Indiana just has barbecue sauce. we don't get creative.
I'm sure you do. You have your own food special things for sure.
Bury a pig, that sort of thing. That was an occasional, like a pig bake where you have a fire pit and you bury a pig in the fire. Like
Isn't that a Hawaiian thing?
We do that around here too. Is that a Hawaiian thing too?
Yeah, Kahlua pig.
Yeah, we do that. We do that in Indiana.
Yeah, wrapped in tea leaves and buried in the dirt.
We wrap it in tractor tires and.
Got a recommendation in the chat for City Barbecue in Indy. Indy is good.
I've definitely had that. I love their lemonade. It's amazing how good lemonade is will dictate which restaurant I choose, and it makes me cross protest lines if your lemonade's good enough. I will bend my morals for good lemonade.
Yeah, oh man, okay, that's gonna be my goal this weekend. If I decide to leave the house to either get something, cook something fancy, or go to a restaurant I haven't been to in years or ever. Maybe that sounds like fun. Barbecue, or I'll pick like a best restaurant in the area list and just check one out.
What's an ethnicity of food that you haven't ever tried that you wanted to?
Oh, I like Ray. I've tried many ethnicities of foods and types of food. You know, that's kind of my thing. So I can't really think of one. Whether we're talking Vietnamese,
Nice.
Korean, I mean, I've tried pretty much every Asian food I can think
Yeah.
of.
So I was looking for a new Thai restaurant
Mm.
and came across a place, and they do Thai and Laotian.
Oh,
um,
cool. Yeah.
So I've only been there once so far and went just for the Thai. And so now I'll have to go back and try their food from Laos.
That's awesome. I wonder what the differences are there. Because in that whole region, I mean, there is variety between Vietnamese and Thai food and Laotian, probably. Awesome. Mm.
I like how all the foreign food we talk about is from all these exotic places. Usually, Asian, perhaps South American based. Where are all of the like Scandinavian fish houses and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Where's the like the Norse
Probably
the
Minnesota.
Norse food? I guess No,
Yeah.
Minnesota they do that like live fish thing.
We have so much Polish influence here in Buffalo. We've got a lot. You've got a large Polish population. We've got a lot of
Oh,
places, eateries that
nice.
specialize in that too.
You get the
Beef pierogies and stuff.
pierogies
Yeah.
and stuff. Oh, I love a
Mhm.
pierogi.
Yeah, but a whole lot of special stuff. You know, beef on weck, I've mentioned before, is so popular here. You know,
Right,
that
yeah. You've
marinated
had
beef on the kumawek roll.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. No, I'm excited for coleslaw. The more sour, the better. You can put it right on the hot dog if it's sour enough. Put
Yeah.
it on instead of pickles and such. So it's
More vinegary
that.
than mayonnaise based. Yeah.
yeah, into it. I haven't tried that red slaw, Ray. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it is tasty, especially if you like vinegar slaw.
I love it. More vinegar, the better.
Well, I think that'll probably do it. But I kind of want to hear from you guys if you have any adventurous food this weekend or over the next week.
Yeah. Write us an email. Send us a voice message. Let us know what you're doing 4th of
Summer
July weekend.
food.
All of your summer food fun
Barbecue
stuff.
cookout food. Coming up with 4th of July. We know stuff is happening out there. What you eating?
Sweet corn still isn't quite ready yet, but it's going to be here in a couple of weeks in Indiana. That's our money crop. All right, you guys. Well, we will take that opportunity to wish everyone a very safe and happy 4th of July weekend for all of those in the United States. Please be respectful of all of your neighbors who have served and anyone, pet owners. But feel free to have fun and celebrate, but also be, respectful of those around us. So please have a great and safe holiday, everyone. And you can find Jess over there on the internets at Sleep is 4T, also at You Wastelanders, and at Dames Who Game. Jess, thanks so much.
Shout out to you, Andrew.
Oh, shouts to me. Ray can be found at RayLB, also at BBCISSS for all of your No Man's Sky needs. And I saw you just posted another episode, Ray. I'm excited to hit that one up.
Yeah, it it almost qualifies as a lost episode.
A lost episode. Great. I was looking at my feed the other day. I was like, it's been a bit since they've posted.
Yeah.
But, all right. No Man's Sky. Check out their Butcher Baker Candlemaker in Space. Thanks a lot, Ray.
Good times.
And if you'd like to interact with me, please join our Facebook group. The show can be found at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com.
Shout out to Play Along Friends.
For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link,
What kind
and
of
all
friends?
other show information, please
Play Along
head on
Friends.
over to asapodcasting.com.
Roundtable
where you will
folks.
find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content.
Get another
Once
roundtable
again,
going.
thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
I'm kind of itching to do another pirate.
And you get them on their knees,
Just being creepy.
do the handcuffs and setting up to their room.
Just leave them tied up.